Hello and welcome back to the Brandon Can Win channel, Chandler.
I know you're watching this, Chandler.
I got a Barry LaCroix and we're going to talk about something that it kind of confused me. That's the best word I can think of talking about this is confused. I'm not like angry or upset, yet I'm also not jumping for joy and excitement. There was a PlayStation showcase, I think about 2 weeks ago by the time this is out, and it showed off something right near the end called Project Q. Now, it's essentially designed like this. Whoever pitched the design was like, let's take a PlayStation 5 controller and just split that baby in half. And then let's take a Nintendo Switch, take the Joy-Cons off, and then just fuse the two together. And then there's Project Q. I do weirdly like the design. I don't know why. It's literally, like I said, the controller just split in half and then like a screen in the middle. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do think it looks pretty slick and in a weird way. But I also just can't help but feel like it might possibly just be a big waste of money. You know, I'm not even going to compare it to the Switch at all. I will do comparisons with the Steam Deck, but I'm also going to compare it to the Wii U Gamepad.
Bruh.
And I'll explain that in a minute. Since there isn't too much out there about the Project Q right now, I took some notes from what I could find about it to let you guys know about, and I'm going to keep covering this as we keep seeing more and finding out more about this thing. I'll keep you guys updated in future videos. So let's see. It uses the DualSense controller features, which makes sense. I think that's a big selling point over using like a backbone or I think it's called the Logitech G Cloud. I see people comparing it to is that it has the DualSense like rumble and features in the controller. It'll have an 8-inch display, which I believe is about as big as the original Switch. It might be as big as the Switch OLED, but it's around that size. It uses remote play to play your PS5 on the go, which is very strange. So essentially, your PlayStation 5 and Project Q will both need to be connected to the internet and powered on. I assume you can power on your PlayStation 5 with the Project Q if you're like at a friend's house. But I don't know. We don't have a price yet, but there are estimates out there saying between $200 to $350. No actual price has yet to be confirmed. And then they said in the announcement thing they'll be releasing later this year, but we don't have an official release date. I want to say that it's still kind of weird to just throw this at us with so little information if it's coming out this year. Like with the Switch, they announced it and then I believe it came out the next year. I'm not totally sure. I need to think about that. I think it might have been actually the same amount of time, but it's still just kind of strange to me that we don't have that much info on it. I feel like the Switch had a lot more info when that came out. And even the PlayStation 5 itself had more info when it was first shown off and announced. So yeah, let's talk about some other alternatives. Like what I would compare this to. Honestly, the best comparison I can think of is the Steam Deck. Use remote play on the Steam Deck. Did you know the Steam Deck had PlayStation remote play on it, or you could get it on there? Same with Xbox. You can get that too. If you have a Steam Deck, I'll just say this right now, don't get this. Unless the DualSense controller features are so important that you need this thing, I don't recommend it if you already have like a Steam Deck. What this does remind me of is the Wii U Gamepad. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. So while most Wii U games required you to use both the screen and the gamepad, there were some games, the ones that come to mind most are the Virtual Console. There are some games that are made so that you could just play it on the gamepad. Though the ones that come to mind are the Virtual Consoles. Remember that Nintendo that everyone loved? Remember Nintendo? Virtual Consoles? Whole nother video. If you're playing, let's say you have your PS5 in the living room, right? And then your parents come in and they either want to watch a Hallmark movie or they want to watch CNN or Fox News or something boring. But you really want to keep playing your Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. What you could do is there was an option where you could just play it on the gamepad that the Wii U that was the Wii U's big thing, was the Gamepad. You can just play it on the Gamepad, and problem solved. I think the only Virtual Console it didn't work with was DS Virtual Console, which is crazy that that actually had DS Virtual Console. But yeah, that's why I just can't help but compare this to that, honestly, the Wii U. Which is a weird comparison to make in 2023, but I will say personally I'm glad they didn't reveal a brand new PlayStation handheld console, because then I'd be like, fuck, another console I have to buy. I'm already speculating that the Super Switch or Switch 2, whatever you want to call it, I do really believe that next year is going to be the year that that comes out. And right now, I don't have the money to buy this thing and the next Switch. And I also plan on getting a Steam Deck eventually. I don't know. I don't feel like it's worth it. I just don't think that currently, from what we know, that it's worth it. Because I am not a big fan of streaming games. If I have to like use remote play or something like that, the only time I ever use it is with the PlayStation 5 if I have to stream the game onto my PC so that I can stream a PlayStation 5 game or PlayStation 4 game. As of now, I see no reason of getting this. If I'm being real with you guys, I don't see a reason. But yeah, I think the design looks sick. But that's kind of all I can say as of now. Unless they give us more information soon. If I do end up deciding to pick this thing up, I want to wait till after it's been released and see what other people have to say about it, because I'm approaching this with caution. Very heavy caution. That's my thoughts on the Project Q. That's kind of what it is about. Yeah, I'm going to keep my eyes on this thing, keep you guys updated if there's any big updates that come out. So, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and notification bell when you do. Also, I will be streaming on Twitch probably when this comes out. I'll be streaming... I've been trying to think of what I will stream first on Twitch for like an actual playthrough. And I think I've decided on One Shot, because One Shot it looks very interesting, and I've had it on my Steam library for quite some time, and I'm excited to get into it. I know very little about the game, so yeah, it'll be interesting. Anyways, guys, so long, and good night.